Hey everyone, this is Martin, and I am continuing the series of creating sustainable income. And today is going to be a little bit of a touchy subject. I don't want you to hear or read into this something that I'm not saying, okay? Before we get started though, if you could hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, turn the notifications to all. And one final thing is I'm not trying to sell you anything, so don't get all uptight about that. Okay, so the subject today is ignorance is not bliss, okay? And I don't want you to hear that I'm saying that people are ignorant about finances. But in many ways, ignorance is not a stupidity or a dumbness of something. It's a lack of working information or working knowledge of things. And, you know, I was the epitome of financial ignorance when it came to trying to figure out ways to build sustainable income in the form of passive income or multiple sources of income. And it was only almost by pure accident that I had a light switch come on that I even knew where to begin looking to try to figure out how to become educated on that. And it came in the form, I'm up closer to the road today, so you can hear a big truck go by. So it came in the form, almost by accident, it came in the form of actually something on TV. It was during the newscast. They were talking about a new book that had come out, and it was by a specific author that wrote a book that the subtitle of was what wealthy people teach their kids about finances versus what the middle class and poor do. And my antennas went up on when I heard that. I didn't hear who it was or anything like that, but I am going to put a link to that book down in the comments below, because that book changed my entire financial future when I discovered what it was. And it was written by a gentleman by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. Maybe you've heard of him, but the book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I learned so many things about creating sustainable income that was not reliant on exchanging your time for money for a paycheck. And so as I began to go through that book, I was finding all these new concepts that I'd never heard of before. And one of them is, the most profound one that I got out of the whole deal was his definition of assets and liabilities. And his definition was something like assets put money in your pocket whether you work or not. Liabilities take money out of your pocket whether you're working or not. And that one simple concept changed everything for us. And it immediately I began to realize that I have not accumulated any kind of assets in my life. It was all liabilities, things that took money out of my pocket, whether I was working or not. And so once I got a handle on that, it was much easier to start building streams of income that were not reliant upon me going out and working or exchanging my time for money on those. And so that's just a part of when I say ignorance is not bliss. I was ignorant to the fact that there was any other way of earning money other than just exchanging my time for a paycheck. And that's what I'm talking about with this, is that I'm going to be going through a lot of the principles, some out of that book, some of the things that we learned along the way of our investing career and our recreation property acquisition and operation career. And all of those things contributed towards where we are now, where we do have multiple streams of income coming in from lots of different sources, and we don't have to go out there and punch a time clock and work at all of those things every day. They just naturally occur and happen because we did. It was like what was the Nike commercial, says just do it. Well, the idea is just do it once and then let the income continue to roll after that. So anyway, that's kind of what the point that I want to try to make is if you don't have a working knowledge of what it takes to create ongoing sustainable forms of income that come in whether you're working or not, then in large part, forgive me for saying it, but you're ignorant on how those systems work. And so the number one thing you do when you discover and admit that you don't have a working knowledge of how that works is to kind of broaden your mind out a little bit and decide, okay, if this is worth it to me, or if the end result of this is worth it to me, if me being able to move back onto a piece of land, whether it's homestead, off-grid, recreation property, or just a cabin in the woods someplace, if it's important to have that ongoing source of income that's coming in, then you need to decide, am I willing to take and admit that I don't have a working knowledge of how that kind of system works, and I need to get one. Then you've already made the first and most important step into that reality, which is learning how it is that those kind of systems work. And we talked a little bit about multiple sources of income on previous videos. We'll probably talk about those again more on upcoming videos. But the most important part of this is, if you don't understand how those things work, with me, I was 42, 43 years old, had no clue, okay, and just had no clue, and just stumbled into it by pure accident or fate. Maybe you want to talk about it that way. And so once I realized that there's somebody out there that knew something more than I did about the subject and was willing to listen and learn what they had to say, then my ignorance began to be removed. And that's what I would encourage you to do, is if those things are important to you, then just be willing to remove that ignorance barrier and start learning some new things about that. And we're going to be going into more of those in detail in upcoming weeks. So anyway, if you got any information out of this video that's helpful to you, please click the subscribe button, the notification bell, share it with others if you want to, and we'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.